and Rutland. Thank you. The City of Stoughton will appear in all matters this evening by Attorney Isaac Brodke. And before I begin calling cases, I want to go over some of the procedures we'll follow tonight and some of your rights as defendants. These procedures are also set forth on the form that was made available to you as you entered the courtroom. First, please turn off your cell phones. Second, this hearing is for initial appearances on the citations you received. This is not the time for a trial or for telling me your side of what happened. When your case is called, please come up to the podium and remember to speak clearly. These proceedings are being recorded, so you need to answer questions verbally and not by nodding or shaking your head. Tonight, I'll ask you to enter a plea to the citation you were issued. Your plea options are not guilty, no contest, or guilty. A plea of guilty means you admit you did whatever it is you're charged with. A plea of no contest means that while you do not admit doing anything unlawful, you do not wish to contest the matter. In many cases, Mr. Brodke will be in a position to make you an offer to resolve your case right here tonight. If you do arrive at such an agreement, you should enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Either way, guilty or no contest, I will find you guilty. I will then review the facts of your case to determine whether there is a basis for accepting your plea, and will give you an opportunity, if you wish, to tell me anything you feel is relevant to my decision. I will then impose a forfeiture. A forfeiture is a money penalty that can be from $20 to $10,000, though the vast majority will be in the range of $50 to $200. I'm also required to impose court costs, which will increase the total amount you must pay. I will automatically give you 30 days to pay your forfeiture. If you think you will need more time than that, please let me know right away, and we will set up a payment plan. Failure to timely pay your forfeiture can result in suspension of your driver's license or referring the matter for debt collection. If you plead not guilty, I'll schedule your case for a pretrial conference with the city attorney. At that time, you can discuss your case with him and see if your case can be resolved without a trial. If it cannot be resolved, I'll schedule the matter for trial. You do have the right to have an attorney represent you in your case, but you must hire that attorney on your own. The state public defender will not represent you. You also have the right to ask me for a continuance of your case if you need to consult with an attorney or for some other reason. Those of you who are charged with operating while intoxicated or a related offense have the right to a jury trial in circuit court in Madison. However, you must post jury fees within 10 days of the date of your plea. Trials on all other offenses will be heard by me, and you'll have the right to appeal any decision I make in your case. Those of you who are charged with a traffic offense should bear in mind that in addition to having to pay a forfeiture if found guilty, the Division of Motor Vehicles may also impose demerit points against your license. If 12 or more points are assessed against your license in any 12-month period, your driving privileges will be suspended for a period of time. If you hold a probationary license, those points may be doubled. Finally, if your address changes at any time while your case is pending, you must notify the court in writing within 5 days of such a change.
This first one, he has 3 tickets, but there are 2 cases, so you'll see 2 reports.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll call City versus Logan Moschel. Did I say your name right, sir? Moschel? Yeah. Okay. You are charged in 2 cases, the first of which is operating a motor vehicle by a permittee without a parent present. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
All right. And then, oops. You're also charged in another case with speeding on a city highway by more than 45 miles per hour. 111 miles per hour in a 55 zone. And you are also charged with operating a motor vehicle by a permittee after dark without a person over the age of 25 with you. Do you understand what those mean?
Yes.
And is your last name spelled M-O-S-C-H-E-L?
Yeah, that's correct.
And do you still live on North Page Street?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Bradkey, does the city have an offer this evening for the defendant?
The city has no offer with respect to that. I do think that to the extent that when it comes to sentencing, if this goes to sentencing, I think that the city thinks that it'd be a good idea for Mr. Moschel to attend an Alive at 25 class in addition to whatever other penalties this court deems appropriate.
All right. Mr. Moschel, how do you wish to plead to these charges?
No contest.
To all three of them?
Yep.
Now, do you understand that by entering a plea of no contest, I will find you guilty?
Yes.
Do you also understand that upon conviction, not only will I impose a money penalty, but your driver's license is going to be suspended?
Yes.
Okay. For how long it's suspended will be up to the Division of Motor Vehicles. On the speeding citation, there's an automatic suspension of 15 days. And I believe that goes into effect today, correct?
That's my understanding.
Right. You still want to plead guilty or no contest tonight?
Yeah, no
I
contest.
guess what I'm asking is, do you have a way of leaving the courthouse and getting home tonight?
Yeah, I'm just walking.
Oh, good. All right. I will find you guilty on all three. I do find a factual basis for the entry of your pleas. And with respect to the citation for operating after dark without somebody 25 years old or older with you, I'll impose a forfeiture and costs totaling $124. On the speeding citation, I will impose a forfeiture of $439 inclusive of costs. And on the operating without a parent citation, I'll impose a forfeiture of $124 inclusive of costs. I will also order that you complete the Alive by 25 program as part of the disposition here. Can we give him information on how to do that tonight?
I don't have anything on that. It's online. I can look it up and send him something. But
Okay. We'll mail you information on how to do the Alive by 25 program. I gotta say, driving anywhere outside of a racetrack in this country at 111 miles an hour, that's incredibly foolish. You're lucky that you only got civil traffic citations. You could have been charged with a couple of different crimes for that as well. And we'd be talking, well, you'd be in circuit court in front of a circuit court judge looking at the possibility of a prison sentence. Do you understand all that?
Yes.
All right.
how long do you want to give him to complete
Yeah.
that?
I will give you 60 days to complete the Alive by 25 program. Mr. Brodkey, does that seem reasonable from your experience?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, your fines are coming up to $124, 5, 6. You're looking at close to $700 in fines. Actually, closer to $800 in fines. Do you need more than 30 days to pay that?
No, I shouldn't.
Pardon?
No, I shouldn't.
Are you sure? Because if you don't pay it within 30 days, there's another license suspension. And that won't be lifted until you pay the forfeitures, no matter what else happens from DMV's perspective.
No, I can pay it within 30 days.
Okay. We'll give you a copy of the judgments in your cases, and then you're free to leave.
Okay. And is there any chance I could get a piece of paper just stating that I was here today, like for my work?
Well, you're going to have copies of the judgments. As far as something for your employer,
Shows appeared on there.
yeah, it shows on the judgment that you appeared.
Okay. All right. No, I was just wondering.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Don't drive. City versus Riddle. Ms. Riddle, do you still live on Felon Street in Stoughton?
Yes, sir.
All right. You are charged with speeding on a public highway 16 to 19 miles per hour over the posted speed limit, specifically 72 in a 55 zone. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, sir.
Does the city have an offer for Ms. Riddle?
Your Honor, the city is willing to amend this to 1 to 10 miles per hour over posted limits, that being a 3-point penalty.
1 to 9.
1 to 9. One of these weeks I'll get it right.
That's all right.
1 to 9 with a 3-point penalty and a $98.80 forfeiture.
Ms. Riddle, do you understand the offer the city's making you?
Yes, sir.
What would you like to do tonight?
I would like to plead guilty. I admit to what I did.
Okay. So I will amend the citation to allege speeding by 9 miles per hour over the posted limit. I will impose the forfeiture suggested by the city, $98.20, correct?
$98.80, Your Honor.
$98.80. Thank you. Yes, one of these weeks I'll get that done. Do you need more than 30 days to pay that?
No, sir.
Okay. We'll give you a copy of the judgment, and then you're free to leave.
I was wondering, is there a possibility for me to get driving school to reduce the points?
That you have to take up with DMV. I don't know, because I don't know what your particular circumstances are, but you could certainly ask.
Okay, thank you.
I have information on the traffic safety
Oh.
classes if you want to
Okay, yeah,
give
let's
them to her.
hand that over to her.
Online.
I've got some written information on traffic safety classes for you, so you can look into that.
Is it possible for me to pay today downstairs?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. You can go.
Thank you for your time.
Miranda Brown. Did I say your name correctly, ma'am?
It's Miranda.
Miranda?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
And do you still live on South 7th Street?
Yep.
All right.
Yes,
You are charged with hit and run of an unattended vehicle. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
And does the city have an offer for Ms. Brown?
Your Honor, if I could just have one moment to finish reading the report.
Sure.
Sorry, Your Honor. Your Honor, I was looking through the report to see if there was a request for restitution. I don't see it unless I'm overlooking it. But at any rate, I don't think that the city's in a position to make an offer on the citation.
Okay. Ms. Brown, do you understand what that means?
Yes.
Well, what it means is that if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest tonight, I will find you guilty. I'll impose a forfeiture in all likelihood of $187, and it looks like DMV would assess 6 points against your license. If you want to have some time to talk on the phone with Mr. Brodkey to see if you two can come to a different arrangement, I'd certainly give you the time to do that. What would you like to do?
Do you think I could speak with the DMV?
Well, it's not up to DMV. It's up to Mr. Brodkey, first of all, to make an offer. He represents the city who has charged you with this citation.
Mr. Brodkey, sorry.
That's me.
That's you,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I was confused.
Your Honor, I think that based off this exchange, it maybe makes sense. Let's just set a pretrial.
Sure.
And then we can talk more about it then.
That's fine. So what I'm going to do tonight, Ms. Brown, is I'm going to find you pleading not guilty. That doesn't mean I'm going to hold that against you or anything like that. All it means is that I'm going to give you some time to talk to the city attorney about the case, all right? So we'll give you written notice of a pretrial conference. That'll be by telephone on October 16th. And you should call Mr. Brodkey at the time we're giving you to discuss the case with him.
Okay.
If you get the case resolved, you won't have to come back.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Double check that.
All right, so what's the date? What's the time?
Thank you.
City versus Morgan Schindler. Is Schindler, your last name spelled Schindler?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you can pull that down if it helps. There you go. Do you still live on Pleasant View Drive in Stoughton?
Yes.
You're charged with speeding on a public highway between 11 and 15 miles per hour over the posted limit, specifically going 50 in a 35 zone. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
Does the city have an offer?
Your Honor, the city is offering to amend the citation to 9 miles per hour over, bearing a 3-point deduction, and we'll keep the forfeiture the same at $98.80.
Ms. Schindler, do you want to take the city up on its offer?
Yes.
Okay. How do you plead then?
No contest.
All right. I do find a factual basis for your plea. I will find you guilty. I will impose a forfeiture and costs totaling $98.80. Do you need more than 30 days to pay that?
No.
All right. We'll give you a written copy of the judgment, and then you're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
City versus Michael Pinkston. Mr. Pinkston, did I say your name correctly?
That is correct.
Okay. And do you still live on Skycrest Circle in Stoughton?
Correct.
You're charged with driving, in doing so, making an unsafe lane deviation. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, sir.
Does the city have an offer?
Your Honor, the city does not have an offer in this case.
Mr. Pinkston, how do you wish to plead?
Not guilty.
That's fine. We'll give you a written notice of a pretrial conference. That'll be by telephone with Mr. Brodkey. That'll be on October 16th. It's important that you do call him. If you do not, the city will assume that you no longer wish to contest the matter. And I'll be informed of that, and I will find you guilty and impose a forfeiture at that time. Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay. So hang on a minute and we'll get you your notice of a pretrial conference.
All right, so wait, there's the time for you to call, and the form's on the back. Okay.
City versus Roy. Ms. Roy, do you still live on Monona Drive in Monona?
No, I recently changed my address with the DMV.
Okay, could you give us your new address because we need that for our records?
Yeah, it's going to be 2325 Traceway, Traceway Drive, apartment 206.
You sure?
Yeah, so I was just waiting for her to be done typing. Fitchburg, Wisconsin,
Okay.
and then it'll be 53713.
All right. Ms. Roy, you are charged with speeding on a public highway by 20 miles per hour over the posted limit, specifically 45 in a 25 zone. Does the city have an offer for the defendant?
Your Honor, the city's willing to amend it to 19 miles per hour over. That would bring it to a 4-point offense, and the forfeiture would remain $149.20.
Ms. Roy, do you understand the city's offer?
Yes,
And what would you like to do tonight?
I'll take the offer.
Okay. How do you plead?
Guilty.
All right. I will amend the citation according to the city's motion, and I will impose a forfeiture of, was it $149.20, Mr. Brodkey?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll impose a forfeiture of $149.20 that includes costs. Are you going to need more than 30 days to pay that?
No.
Okay. We'll give you a written copy of the judgment, and then you're free to go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
City versus Gray. Ms. Gray, do you still live on Markins Gate Road in Stoughton?
I do.
And you're charged with operating a motor vehicle without proof of insurance. Do you have proof of insurance with you?
I do.
Why don't you show that to Mr. Brodkey?
Let me just confirm. Oh, okay. So you always had it used. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, fantastic.
I just forgot to put it in the car.
It
I already have it.
Happens to me too. Your Honor, the city moves to dismiss the citation.
All right, dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
I'll give her a receipt.
Oh, Ms. Gray, why don't you wait till we give you a copy of the judgment, just in case there's a snag somewhere, you'll have written proof that I dismissed it.
Thank
There's two more that
Yeah.
came in late.
Do you have their names?
Fry.
Okay.
That's the first one.
City versus Fry. Ms. Fry, do you still live on Silverado Drive?
Yes, I do.
And Ms. Fry, you're charged with retail theft, specifically taking merchandise from a merchant, in this case Quick Trip, in the amount of less than $500 without attempting to pay for that merchandise. Mr. Brodke, it looks like Quick Trip is requesting $14.55 in restitution. Does the city have an offer?
Yeah, Your Honor, the city does not have an offer in this case. Regarding the restitution, I don't know if that's setting in a restitution hearing or just ordering the restitution.
Well, okay, two things for Ms. Fry. First of all, the city's not willing to extend an offer to you to resolve the case tonight. Secondly, Quick Trip is requesting that I order you to pay restitution for the merchandise you're alleged to have stolen. What do you want to do tonight? How do you wish to plead?
I guess no contest.
Okay, if you plead no contest, I will find you guilty. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And in all likelihood, I would impose a forfeiture of $187. Because restitution is requested, I would also set the matter over for a restitution hearing where the aggrieved party, that is Quick Trip, would have to prove to my satisfaction that they are out the $14.55 that they're requesting. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a moment, please.
Okay.
They sometimes provide a receipt and proof in the
Yeah.
report. Okay.
Well, I do find a factual basis for your plea. I will find you guilty. I will impose a forfeiture of $187, including costs. Are you going to contest the amount of restitution that's requested?
No.
All right. I will order restitution in the amount of $14.55. You'll have to pay that.
Okay.
Are you going to need more than 30 days to pay your forfeiture? It's
That's
fine
it.
if you do. I can set up a
Yeah,
payment plan.
I definitely do. Yeah.
Okay. Are you employed right now?
No.
Are you looking for work?
Yes.
Do you have any source of income right now?
No.
How are you paying your bills?
Right now, my mom is helping me with my rent. My mom is paying my rent right now.
Okay.
Do you know which Quick Trip it is offhand?
Not yet. Give me a second.
I can look too.
1359 US Highway 51.
So that's Kettle Park.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. If I order you to pay $30 a month, that gives you over 6 months to pay this off. Is that going to be enough time for you?
Yes, I will make it work.
Okay. So I'm going to order you to pay $30 a month beginning October 1st?
Right.
October 1st. So you've got almost 3 weeks to come up with the first 30 bucks.
Okay.
Whatever happens with regard to paying off the forfeiture, you do still owe Quick Trip $14.55.
They pay it to us, so we add it.
Right. The restitution gets paid to the clerk of city court, and then we will then send the money to Quick Trip.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And we'll give you all of that in writing, so
Okay.
don't take off just yet.
Okay.
Until I'll send her the payment plan forms.
Oh,
Mail.
okay.
I don't have those here.
Okay, yeah, we will mail you paperwork on the payment plan. And that'll tell you in writing how much you have to pay, the timetable for doing it, and how to pay.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. And what's the last one?
Molas, M-O-L-L-A-S.
Okay. City versus Molas. Did I say that right, ma'am?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Ms. Molas, do you still live on Brody Drive in Madison?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You're charged with failure to stop at a stop sign. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Ma'am, I don't mean to be nosy or rude, but is English your first language?
No, it's my second language.
Can you understand everything that's going on here?
To my best, I'm trying it.
What's your first language, ma'am?
Albanian.
Okay. Can we
Do have
try?
it at language line? I
Yeah.
checked with them. I hadn't talked to her, so I
Okay.
didn't know.
We're gonna try to get you an interpreter, okay?
She will also, if this offense requires.
Oh, right. Oh, boy. Mr. Brodkey, while we're trying to get an interpreter on the line, if I order a pretrial conference, would you be able to get an interpreter on the line to help you?
Yes, Your Honor, and I think that maybe that would be the best use of
Yeah, let's just do
time.
that. Yeah. Ms. Molas, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find you pleading not guilty tonight, and I'm going to give you an appointment to call Mr. Brodkey on October 16th to see if you can get this case resolved. He'll have an interpreter on the line, on the telephone, so that you can understand what's going on, because I want you to understand clearly what you're charged with, what the potential penalties are, and in talking with Mr. Brodkey, the possibilities for trying to get the case resolved. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. Can we give her this then too? Okay.
No.
So we'll just make a call
Yep.
What time were you giving her?
4:30.
And then that's gonna be a solution.
Excuse me, Ms. Mullis? Is 4:30 a good time to call Mr. Brodkey?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the date and time,
Okay.
and then the phone number right there.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much. You guys have
All
a
right,
great.
thank you.
There's one. verified the citation.
What?
Jensen, J.E.
Oh, okay, I
Did I
was
say
looking in
G?
the wrong
Sorry.
place, yeah.
Thank you.
I'll call City versus Jensen. Mr. Brodkey, we received notice that the vehicle in question is now properly registered. Does the city have a motion?
Yeah, the city moves to dismiss the citation.
All right, I will dismiss the citation. On all other matters that are here for 5 o'clock initial appearance. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, okay.
What's the name?
Long.
Ronald Long. City versus Long.
Sir.
Mr. Long, come on up to the podium. Mr. Long, do you still live on Charles Lane in Stoughton?
No, actually, I moved to the state of Washington.
I'm sorry?
Actually, I live in the state of Washington.
Okay. Could you give us your address? We need to update our records.
14031 Sheridan Avenue South,
Sheridan.
Parkland.
Sheridan Avenue?
Yeah,
Okay.
Parkland, Washington, 9844.
What was the city?
What's the name of the city?
Parkland?
Parkland.
Parkland?
Yeah,
Got it.
And the zip again?
Zip code, please?
98444.
9844. There's 3 4s?
Nine?
Yeah, 3 4s, yeah.
Okay. All right, sir, you are charged with retail theft. You're charged with taking merchandise from Walmart valued at less than $500 without attempting to pay for it. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Brodkey, does the city have an offer for the defendant?
No, Your Honor, the city does not.
All right. Mr. Long, you weren't here at 5 o'clock when I gave instructions to all the other people who came on time.
Yeah, I actually went to the Dane County Courthouse.
Okay, but the citation said to come here.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So, your choices tonight are to plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. If you plead guilty or no contest, I'll find you guilty. If you plead not guilty, then I'll schedule the matter for a pretrial conference on October 16th, where you can talk to Mr. Brodkey, who represents the city of Stoughton. That would be by telephone, and you can see if you can get the matter resolved. If you do get the matter resolved, then the next time the case is called in court, we'll take care of it and you won't need to be here. If you want to plead not guilty, that means that you want a trial, and I would then schedule a matter for a pretrial conference where you talk to Mr. Brodkey. And again, if you don't get the case resolved, then I would set it on for a trial, and that would be before me. That would not be in the Dane County Courthouse. It would be here. Do you understand all that?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you wish to plead?
I was plead guilty, so
Okay.
He has an outstanding balance.
no
of money
contest for him.
From a previous retail theft that he's never paid. It's in collections, but I don't know if you want to say anything to him while he's here.
So, Mr. Long, I was just informed that you owe the city $187 from a previous retail theft for which you were convicted, and you haven't paid for that either. All right, I'm just reviewing the police reports. You're apparently on probation for something?
yeah.
What's that?
Domestic violence.
Does your probation agent know that you're not living in the state of Wisconsin
Yeah,
now?
that's why I was back here. It's I flew back here because I have to check in every 45 days. See, I had a stroke, and I have no family here to help,
Okay.
you know, so
All right. I'm going to impose a forfeiture and costs of $187. Do you need a payment plan, or can you pay that
can I get
within?
payment plans, Your Honor?
Okay. How much can you pay each month?
So 25 or 50?
For the total balance, which was $374.
Yeah, you still owe us for the
Right.
previous one, so
Right.
the total is $374 altogether. All right, I'm going to order that you pay $50 a month. We'll give you information on how to make payments. That'll begin on October 1st, so your first payment's due on October 1st. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I will
Okay.
pay that right now.
I'll mail him the payment plan information.
Okay. We'll have to mail the payment plan information to you, but we can give you a copy of the judgment before you leave. Any questions?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. On all other matters that were scheduled for an initial appearance at 5 o'clock today where the defendants have failed to appear, I will find them guilty by default. I will order forfeitures in the amounts indicated on the citations that were issued. Several people have already posted their bonds. And I will give those who have not posted and who did not appear 30 days to pay. Anything further from the city on that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, the Hammond's hearing at 6.
That's on whether he shows.
Well, he contacted me this morning, copied city attorney, requesting to appear by Zoom, and I said we need at least 24 hours.
Yeah, we're not.
Because our IT needs to get involved in
Yeah.
televised, and he understood. It sounded like he would be there. He said he was excited to get this settled.
I bet. Okay. Are we calling all of his cases? Is that?
Well, that's what
That's
the
what I was hoping to
collection
do.
matter is about.
Yeah,
that's-
okay. Okay. Well, then we'll go off the record until people show up for 6 o'clock.
Can you look over and verify? He said he's excited about for the hearing tonight. Get everything taken care of. Balancing work responsibilities as well as his sick son. I'm wondering if he'd be allowed by Zoom, phone or Zoom. If he does show up, you might want to remind him that he defaulted on pretrial and
I
he
know.
defaulted on, initial appearance last time.
Okay. Mr. Brodkey, which case do you want to call first?
Your Honor, whichever. I have no preference.
City versus Brian Alsage? What?
Yeah, Your Honor, as I understand, if I have this correctly, Mr. Alsage was dealing with issues regarding his license and trying to make steps toward getting that renewed. I think that was the purpose of this discussion.
Okay.
It was that there was an initial appearance, there was a colloquy about, well, we want some proof that you're making steps toward remedying it. As Your Honor can see, it doesn't appear that Mr. Alsage is here. And if I have that hearing correct, then I think that the city would move to default him on the citation.
Madam Clerk, do you know anything more about it?
I have not done any checking on his
Okay.
registration.
I take it you haven't heard anything from him?
I have not, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Your Honor, to clarify, that's really just my recollection, what I understand this hearing to be about, and I could be mistaken as well.
I don't have a file.
I believe that's the case. I can, if you want to.
When did he make his initial appearance?
June 19th, I believe. I can pull the recording and, verify exactly what happened.
Okay.
But I was assuming the same thing, that you had granted him 3 months to reinstate.
Okay. Since I don't know the state of the record at this point, what I will do is set this over to the October hearing, so that's October 2nd, right?
16th. Second is for juvenile.
Oh, yeah, sorry. October 16 at 6 o'clock for review. And unless I hear something other than what you're telling me, Mr. Brodkey, I'll find him guilty and impose a forfeiture at that point. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. City versus Boggard, B-O-G-A-R-D.
The others, except for Hamas, are all just for your review, and I'll send those to you. That's how we
Okay.
usually handle.
So those are resolved then? Is that?
I haven't.
Oh, yeah, I see, for
yeah,
sentencing.
I send those as extra approvals after each court
Okay.
date with the pretrial approvals.
So apparently the city and the defendant have come to an agreement in the cases of City versus Boggard, City versus Niswanger, and City versus Ryan. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. And I believe that one of those may be a juvenile, at least I believe at the time of the, no?
No,
Am I
no,
mistaken?
No, apparently not.
Okay,
I think Niswanger was like 17 or 18.
understood. Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of.
Okay. Then on the record, I will approve the agreement that the city and the defense have come to, and I will order forfeitures in the amounts agreed upon by the parties. Is that good enough?
The agreements are sometimes, I don't have it because normally how this is handled is I check it out and send you that information.
Mm-hmm.
They may have had an agreement that it is to be dismissed if they've had no further, so I don't.
Yeah, and I don't have those in front
No, I
of me.
generally send that to you, that's what I'm saying.
Right, but
don't
well,
have it for court. If you want me to start having that prepared for court,
yeah,
I will,
I think
but
it would be good, because
previously, we
otherwise,
always just did it via email, so,
okay.
yeah, we don't.
Yeah, and if I may,
Please.
I cannot recall offhand Sophia's a citation. I have a vague recollection that.
Possession of THC.
Correct, right. I remember the factual circumstance and everything. Regarding the deal, if I recall correctly, it was a community service. So I don't know. I believe that they submit that to Madam Clerk, who then reviews
Right.
to see completion.
Okay.
And they actually had requested an extension. She was supposed to, was held for 12 months through Judge Rothy. And if defendant completed 60 hours of community service, it was to be dismissed.
Do we know if
I
she
have
did her
not
community service?
received anything on that yet. They moved out of town.
Oh, okay.
To,
All right. Let's set all of those over to next month for my review. And yeah, we'll figure out a process for me
Yeah,
so that I've got it up on the bench here. Okay. Which leaves us with City versus Hammes. It's 7 minutes after 6. I don't see Mr. Hammes here. What's the city's position?
Your Honor, since the last hearing, if you recall, I presented sort of an agreement in principle that we had. Your Honor, and the court had concerns about, well, what would be the enforcement mechanism to ensure that he would comply with that. Subsequent to that, I have not had any further communications with Mr. Hammes about, opportunities, but in the interim, it's occurred to me that one possibility is just a payment up front. If you recall, there was, and I don't know if you have the letter in front of you.
I do.
Okay. If you recall, the idea was, well, we'll have $1,000 a month payment plan, and the city would recommend that all prior to 2019 citations would be forgiven. A principal concern there is the ability to collect on those old citations.
Right.
Your Honor, instead of a per month thing, and I was hoping that Mr. Hammes would be here to discuss this, but perhaps that it could just be a large downstroke, today, and we could just really resolve it. I see that as better than continuing to move on. If Your Honor would like, I can reach out to Mr. Hammes again, but that's where I see things today.
Okay. Yeah, I would appreciate it if you would reach out to him and see what concrete steps can be taken to deal with the arrearage, which is substantial. And I will order him to appear on October 16 at 6 o'clock.
we served him for this appearance. Technically, he's in contempt of court. Did you want to serve him again?
Yes. And I will look at what my remedies may be with respect to contempt, because
told him that we couldn't do hybrid without a 24-hour notice, but I've never talked to you about it. Do you?
oh, here he is.
Oh, okay.
City versus Hammes. Mr. Hammes, could you please turn on the microphone there?
Sure. Is that on now?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Brodkey, where are we at with things?
Sure. So, Mr. Hammes, to fill you in, we talked, you and I had talked, and we submitted a proposal for a framework. And Your Honor, I don't mean to speak for you, so correct me if I'm wrong, but the court had concerns about whether or how to ensure payment. So what I was hoping to talk to you about, and what I'm hoping that we can propose to the court, is essentially the same framework, but instead of a per month payment, paying the balance post January 1, 2019. Today or in a week, and then there wouldn't be this monthly payment issue.
Okay.
How much can you pay?
I don't even know what the total is. What do you
It's
mean?
in the thousands.
What do you mean? How much can I pay right this moment as I'm sitting here?
Yeah. What's your ability to pay?
I thought it was $1,000 a month, and now it's being sought to revise.
The difficulty that I have with the city's proposal is that your track record for paying on these forfeitures, which goes back to the previous century, is not real good. Another promise to pay doesn't really do anything with this enormous arrearage. How much can you pay up front?
Do you want me to address your comments to me? I mean, do you expect me to sit here as a citizen of Stoughton, where I've made very objective legal observations regarding the forfeitures, including the majority of them that shouldn't be assigned to me individually because they pertain to a company? I believe that we resolved this adequately, and I understood it was $1,000 a month. And if the court doesn't accept that, and I don't mean to speak down in any way, shape, or form, but this isn't, I don't need to be demeaned in any way, shape, or form about forfeitures in my payment practice. I don't agree to the forfeitures. I don't agree that they're legally imposed. I don't believe that they were anything other than manipulative and vindictive in some of them. And some of them are not even remotely legally correct.
Okay.
So the point is
You're
that...
done. You're
Okay.
done. You're done.
Don't...
No,
Okay.
you're done.
So I'm just here to talk to you. I thought it was $1,000 that I was going to start with.
Okay.
That's all.
First of all, whether you think that these judgments were legally imposed, that we're past that point.
Understood.
You've been adjudicated. I don't want to hear anything from you about that.
Understood.
It's absolutely irrelevant. What I do have in front of me is a history of thousands of dollars worth of forfeitures post January 1, 2019 that the city is willing to, for those that are before that date, the city's willing to move to dismiss those. But Mr. Hammis is required then, before that happens, to pay $1,000 a month. The concern I have is, what is the court supposed to do to assure that you're paying $1,000 a month?
I understand. That's a very good observation based upon what you are seeing in a piece of paper, and I understand your premise. The framework that I understand is if I didn't pay off the $1,000 a month or whatever framework through January 1st, if that's what you're proposing, then the deal is off. And then I'm back at square one. And I recognize the, not gratuitous, but the very fair position of the city pre-2019, and I'm not going to lose advantage of that based upon a dollar amount that I will plan for and will accomplish.
Okay,
That's all I'm explaining, Your Honor.
okay. When can you make this first payment of $1,000 a month, assuming that I agree to this?
I thought it was on or before October 1st. That's what I did.
I don't know, I'm asking.
Okay.
Your Honor, I don't believe that we ever discussed when the payment would be made. I think it'd be dependent on the court sort of accepting this framework. But given this circumstance, again, I understand the court's concerns about payment. If Mr. Hammis can pay something tonight, maybe that makes sense and that would be credited against it, and then we can begin monthly payments on the first until the total judgment amount's exhausted.
And then
Mr.
I
Ham-
apologize, Your Honor. I wasn't believing, again, I apologize. I did not think that this framework was commencing right at this moment and this time, not that I can't. But I think the important part is, what do you feel comfortable with? Provide me the specific date that you want the first payment with, and then whatever balance that you want from there. Not balance, but, I'm just saying I didn't come here thinking I was paying anything
Sure.
tonight, but
And I
whatever
underst-
you feel comfortable with.
And I understand that. What I would feel comfortable with is having all of this taken care of. Okay, as to your ability to pay, are you realistically in a position to pay $1,000 by October 1st?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
100%. That fits within the budget that I have to maintain for other purposes.
okay. Then here's what we're going to do. I'm going to order you, well, I can't really order you. The orders to pay the forfeitures have already been made. what I can do is I can accept in principle the agreement outlined in this letter to me dated August 19th, 2024, where this $1,000 a month payment plan is outlined. If Mr. Hammes pays that $1,000 a month for the citations that it looks like the post-January 1, 2019 date, the first ones are June 12. The $1,000 a month would be applied towards those citations, those that were issued after January 1st, 2019. Assuming Mr. Hammes makes good on all of those, I would adopt the city's recommendation to reopen the judgments on the others and dismiss all of them. Excuse me. That I will expect that first $1,000 payment will be made on or before August 1st of this year. Is that clear, Mr. Hammes?
I believe you said August 1st?
I'm sorry, October 1st. October
Yes, Your
1st.
Honor.
Okay. And we're going to keep this on a monthly review so that I know whether or not these payments are actually getting made. So the next review date will be October 16th at 6 o'clock. If I'm seeing that the money's being paid, I won't require you to be here.
Okay, thank you.
But if I see payments getting missed, I will have to have you here, and I'll be requesting an explanation, and we'll have to see what happens from there. Is that clear to everybody?
Clear to me, Your Honor.
Clear to me, Your Honor.
Okay. Then unless anybody has any questions, I think we're done with this matter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, and we're adjourned.